Hi, this is Mike Carter. I'm going to do a review of the Team Associated SR-10. This is sold as a dirt oval car, but at my local track, the Southern Indiana RC Speedway, we've been racing these on carpet as a box stock class. And it's really worked out great. We've been having a lot of fun with it, getting a lot of interest in it. You know, typically we have 10 or 11 cars show up to race a carpet oval with them. So I want to do a little review of this. I've been racing it for a few months now. As you can see, I've replaced the stock body with a Harry Gant Skull Bandit body. And it's pretty beat up. I've got a new body ready to go on it pretty soon. But this car came out, I think came out last year. It was a big hit. They came out with the SR-10, which is a dirt oval, and they also came out with the DR-10, which is a no-prep drag race car. And they're very similar, but they're really not interchangeable. The drag race car has a longer chassis, and there's some other differences. But the SR-10 has been very popular. You can buy this, the complete package with radio, battery, charger, everything for $420. Or for $350, you can buy it without the battery and charger, but it still comes ready to run with the radio. It's a really well-made, well-designed stock car, fully working adjustable suspension, street stock tires, got a nice tread on the tires. Front suspension, you can adjust the toe in and the camber. On the rear suspension, you can adjust the camber. I have 4 oil-filled shocks. Everything's enclosed with dust covers to be, resistant to dust and water. Your receiver is underneath this cover. And here's your SRC with a fan on it, or ESC with a fan on it. I do have the dust cover removed on the differential, just so the pinion and spur gears here. It does have a slipper clutch. So I'll go over some of the pros and cons of it. As I said, we've been racing these on carpet oval. And there's one group that's actually racing them on carpet figure 8. And we are racing them as box stock. And they work great for that. Our track is a scale. It's probably about a 3/8 mile track at 1/10 scale. Now these cars come out of the box with an 18-tooth pinion gear. And with the 18-tooth, they'll top out around 30 miles an hour. You can go up to a 23-tooth gear and they'll get up to like 40 miles an hour. At our track, we've settled on running a 21-tooth gear. Works out well for our track. That gives you a top speed of about 35, 36 miles an hour. But that's fast enough where you really have to drive the car. You've got to slow down, get through the turns, and your setup is really critical on carpet. That minor adjustments make a big difference. If you don't have it right, you might be real loose. You're just going to spin out in every corner. If you go the other way, you might get it too tight and it's going to roll over in every corner, or push real bad and just won't turn. But if you play with the setups, you can get it right, and they'll do real well. Pros and cons. Pros, it's a tough car. Like I said, I've seen guys race these in figure 8s, take some tremendous hits. And even in the oval racing, we take some pretty good hits, as you can tell by how badly my body is torn up. But nothing breaks on them. You know, I watch other classes that they're always breaking A-arms or suspension parts or things like that. Nothing breaks on these cars. They hold up extremely well. However, even though nothing breaks, they do have a couple of things that there have been some failures with. These come with a servo here with a spring-loaded servo saver. And the original servos that came with these are known to fail. And when they start to fail, the ESC doesn't know what to do with it, and it just shuts down. So even though your steering servo is failing, it'll just shut down. You have no throttle or anything. And it's a known problem. And as I understand it, Team Associated is no longer using this particular servo that comes with them. They're using the same high torque digital servo that they put in their drag car now. So that is one of the points of failure. Another thing they've had a problem with on the ESC, they've got this fan on top of it, and I've seen several of them tend to pop off. And I don't know if you can, how well you can see here, but I've actually hot glued mine down, the fan down to the ESC, because I did have a race where I took a hit and the fan went flying out, landed on the track. But since I glued it down, I've had no more problem with that. I've seen a couple of them that had receiver failures. Not many, a couple, but that is another problem you may have with them. The shocks tend to leak badly. I don't know why they can't seal these things up better, but all the shocks, all of them I've seen, the shocks leak. Another weak point, at least for carpet racing, is the tires. And these tires are apparently very soft, and the carpet just eats them up. You can see how badly this tire is worn, and that's probably got less than a dozen races on it. It just wears them out, and you can see it's wearing on the inside. I do have a little bit of camber. Out of the box, they come with about a 1.5 or 2 degree camber, and that's about what we need on our carpet track. But that does tend to make them wear on the inside on this right rear. Front tires hold up pretty well. But it's been a problem for us that these tires are wearing out so quickly, and up until probably just this week, replacements weren't available. Team Associated has just been very bad about making spare parts available for these cars. Hopefully they've got over the hump and they'll become more available now. But they do tend to wear out the tires very badly. In fact, I've worn some of them out to where they actually split. And it's just not very thick rubber. Got some soft foam in there, but it's apparently just a very soft rubber compound. Now, if you buy the $420 package, as I said, it comes with a Wolfpack 3300 milliamp 2S battery. These, it's a hard case battery, and these have worked very well. I've had no problem whatsoever with them. I bought one spare so I could have one charging while I'm racing one, and these have worked out very well. It does come with its own proprietary controller. Gives you a little bit of adjustment for dual rates and trim on your steering and throttle. And they've worked out very well. You know, some of the more high-end controllers give you a little bit more adjustments on rates and things, but I've found no problem at all using this in the racing we've been doing. The bodies don't hold up real well when you get 6, 8, 10 cars out there banging and bumping on an oval track. I've gone through, I'm on my 3rd body now. They tend to split in common places above the wheel well, here in the corners. The tires tend to rub on the wheel wells a little bit when you're banking hard going through a turn. One trick I've learned is to take some of this nylon drywall tape and reinforce the body, and I stick that down with shoe goo. And here's a new body I'm working on. You see I've reinforced the entire body with that drywall tape, glued down with shoe glue, and it definitely makes it a lot stronger. A little stiffer, but I think it'll hold up much better as far as cracking and splitting various places. But I've done really the whole outside edges of the body with that reinforcing tape. So overall, it's an excellent car, really great car. It works really good for a box stock class where you just, buy it, just run it straight out of the box. Everybody's on equal footing. Everybody's got the same setup. And we've just been having a ball with it at Southern Indiana RC Speedway, racing on carpet oval. It gives you enough adjustments that you really do have to stay on top of it as far as the track changing conditions. You might have to make a little adjustments to make the car handle well. But you have that option. You just change your camber a little bit, or change your spacers in the shocks to stiffen them up a little bit, or maybe put a, you can put a little more spacer in the right rear, puts a little more weight on the left front. Maybe gets, that's just enough to make it start handling. I typically run a little stiffen up the left rear a little bit. That puts a little bit more weight on the right front, because of course we're making left-hand turns on an oval track. I've got the right front very soft, and it really, when you're going through the turns, you see that body dip, you see it dig down, and it works out really well. So, in my opinion, these are a great carpet car in a box stock class. I know a lot of people are racing them on dirt ovals. I have no personal experience with that, so I really can't speak to that. But overall, it's been a great car, and I highly recommend them, and especially on a carpet track, it's about as much fun you can have RC car racing if you run a box stock class with these. So this is Mike Carter and the Team Associated SR-10. Been very pleased with it, very happy with it. I think you will too.